Do these 5 things before every roofing sales appointment because they will set you up for success. And as Brian Tracy says, for every minute you spend in planning saves you 10 minutes in execution. And that gives you a 1,000 times return on energy. I'm Adam Bensman. Welcome back. I'm so excited to jump into this video. And the reason is because when I analyze roofing reviews all across the country, I found that one of the most common words used to describe 5-star reviews was the word professionalism. This is something that you give as an experience, not that you say. And these 5 things are going to help you do that. So starting off with number 1, before you show up for an appointment, you should be reading the notes. Now, if this is a self-generated lead, this won't apply. But if you're showing up for an appointment that the office gave you, there should be notes in there about things like how long the homeowner's been in the home, what's going on with the roof, where they're at in the process, if they're interested in financing, etc. All of this information will help prime your mind to show up and deliver the best sales experience for your homeowner, because your job is to meet them where they are. Now, if your team isn't providing those notes, I recommend that you jump into my previous video I did not too long ago, where I secret shopped a whole bunch of roofing companies to highlight the top 7 mistakes that most companies are making so you can avoid them. And if you're in the RSRA community, you can jump into the inbound leads phone selling strategy and use the intake script to help enhance your process. Number 2 on the list, with AI, you can look up the homeowner and learn a lot. You can even say things like, hey, give me an executive brief on so-and-so homeowner at this address, and include details like what they do for a living, how long they've been in the house, if they have a loan on the home, how much equity, and if you know of any previous home renovation projects that they've gone through. And simply getting this information will give you a lot to know. In fact, I did this on an address I just pulled up, and I looked up and I found that this person was an executive at a company and they just purchased this home for over $1 million. And there was a loan on it, but they had a lot of equity in the home. And it was amazing. So imagine if you walked into the house knowing that you have a brand new homeowner, you might approach things a little differently than the person that's been there for 10 years. And this level of information is going to help you provide the best package, whether it's a best, better, good option, or at least have an inkling of where people are coming from. You can even just jump online and do a Google Street View to know, because gosh, I remember how terrible it was when I'd show up and be like, oh man, I only had 1 ladder today and I need 2 for a double pole to get on the 2nd story. All those little details will help get you up to speed in advance. And I cannot tell you how important this preparation is. It's what I wish I did more of when I was earlier in my career, because even today, if I'm giving a talk, and I've done it a ton of times, I still spend time preparing. I rehearse the notes, I go through it, and I even visualize myself going through the talk, getting up on stage, and doing everything so I can perform at the highest possible level. Number 3, another one that I wish I did more of when I got started, and that is prep everything. If you have a retail estimate to prepare, you can prep almost all of it in advance. If you're working insurance claims, get your contingency agreement prepped with all the basic information and anything else necessary in the job file. If there's anything that you'd be doing in the home, do it before you show up, because there's a saying that time kills all deals. So the more time you spend dilly-dallying around, it doesn't help. You want to create a seamless process and a seamless experience, not only for your homeowners, but that also frees your time up to go serve even more people. So if you're up on the roof trying to get some things done, or you have to step out into your truck to get a few things done, do it in advance instead. Number 4 on the list, show up early. If you're on time, you're late. This is one of the things that so many people screw up, and you don't need to. And by the way, if you are running late, it is your commitment to your customers, because you're in an agreement that you had an appointment at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. If you're going to be there at 3:05, that's not fulfilling your agreement. You send a text and you call, say, hey, I just want you to know, as soon as you know, I'm running 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late, and you let folks know. But in an ideal world, you show up 10 or 15 minutes early. Now, using this time, and some people are going to tell me this is really cheesy, but I'm going to tell you it works for me, and I hope it works for you. This is the time to center yourself. Some people work best to just close their eyes. You know, this industry is just so fast-paced and so much stress that to just take a moment, even taking just one deep breath, doing a meditation, doing a visualization of serving them to the highest possible degree you can to help them through this process and be the savior for them through this roof process, like that's magic. You're visualizing yourself doing a great job. leaving the house with a customer who's so happy to work with you, and kind of checking the whole day so you don't come in, spun up like 100 miles an hour. And again, this is something I just spoke at an event recently. Even backstage, ready to get up there, I sat down and I centered myself before getting up on stage so I could bring my very best for the people that I'm there and meant to serve. Number 5 on the list is make a killer first impression. Now, this is a big catch-all for a lot of things. Number 1, park your vehicle where they can see it, especially if you got a vehicle that you can be proud of. Maybe it's wrapped with company logo. You want to make sure they can see it when they open the door, if it's on the street or in the driveway. Make sure you are dressed properly. I know I've done videos sometimes in t-shirts, but in my other videos I've done like what not to wear in roofing sales. I recommend looking the part, right? Collared shirt, shirt tucked in, belt. Look like a pro, not like you rolled out of bed or rolled out from underneath the truck changing oil, okay? Number 3, know that people are likely seeing you before you show up to the house. So if you're getting out of your truck and you're like spitting on the ground or scratching at yourself and you're walking up, like that's the first impression that's happening before you're even aware it. So that's why centering yourself and showing up professional and intentional and walking up to that door like you have an audience with energy, enthusiasm, and a smile, and making sure that when they open the door and you're greeting them, you flash the friendship cues, right? A quick eyebrow flash and a chin raise with either putting your hand up, an open palm, or a handshake, just as a greeting that's warm, friendly, and energetic. That level of enthusiasm is contagious. So all of these elements combine to create the best possible first impression. Now that you know exactly what to do before the appointment, you want to learn how to close even more sales. So jump into this very next video for my closing masterclass to help you close on the very first visit.